Elden Ring is a blessed game that brought a wonderful experience to many veterans and noobs. Me, I am one of those noobs that had joined the game and never even planned to get it, but I had a friend that was like, you need to play it, and so they bought it for me, and I ended up playing it. Anyways, a new Elden Ring game is coming out. We just got the DLC, and then no one thought there was going to be an Elden Ring 2 because the developer confirmed it was not happening. But then we got this game called Elden Ring Nightreign, which technically isn't a 2, but it's still coming out in May 29th, if you're not sure. I think it's the 29th. I could be wrong on that, but it's May something. Furthermore, if you've not heard of it, you must be living under a rock, to be honest, because this is one of the most exciting games, probably going to be one of the best of 2025. Maybe not. I don't know. It's just for used assets. We'll see. It's only $40 game, so it's relatively cheaper on that side, and we'll offer you to play with your friends. You get to play in with 3 players total. Dive into a realm, a very Monster Hunter-like-esque. You dive into like a map arena. Go try and loot up and get your character to a stronger form. You level them up. You get more loot. You grab passives on weapons that can be more attributed to the class that you're playing. You lock in a character class. You don't really change clothes, and you can build out your character and make them stronger. Now, this process can be rather lengthy, somewhat, depending on what it is. At nighttime, it plays a little Fortnite-like-esque experience where it makes poison and kind of pushes you into a circle to then fight a boss and move on to the next night. This goes for a total of 3 days, and then on the 3rd day, or whatever it is, you move and you fight the final boss. This was how the network test worked. Now, thank God they had this network test because it was actually kind of a hot mess. I had a few experiences where I was going, I was chugging, and I was actually rather strong and ready to fight this boss. But no! I got hit with a fat network error. This caused a very much sadness in my life, and honestly, it was the main purpose of it, so I wasn't too upset. But I found myself getting lost in the game overall, and like I still, with the network test issues, it was still really, really, really fun. And some of them were password locked. I heard the first one I didn't even try to play, but the first one was rather unplayable from my experience of what I was told. I'm glad there was a few different tests that they held, even the ones that were at 3 a.m. Bandai really trying to screw me over by making those at 3 a.m. when I have work at 6. But it be what it be. Anyways, Elden Ring or Nightreign, I found myself to be a very enjoyable experience. You do kind of start and go in, and it does kind of feel a little bit bad to start over at level 1 each and every round. But if you get yourself a good team and you can find yourself some good players to pair up with, you guys can really be an absolute menace to these monsters that you're fighting. And if you really are familiar with Elden Ring, the first one in general, you'll really know what a lot of the monsters do. It is a lot of reused assets, and there's a lot of cool monsters. And there's apparently monsters from other games. Elden Ring is my only Souls-like game that I've ever played, so I don't know what it's like from the Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, or what monsters that you encounter, so apparently there's some nostalgia there for some of you veteran players. Me, personally, I was like, there's 4 classes to start with. You have your General Warrior, you have your Guardian, you have your Rogue, and then you have your Mage, Recluse. I can't remember the name of the other 2, the Rogue and the Warrior, because it's like Wilder or something like that. I don't know. That was the name of the classes. I tried. I'm struggling. But I mainly started with, played the Guardian and the Mage, the Recluse, and I started off with the Guardian. They have skills, which was new and not in the regular Elden Ring. Found that actually really unique and interesting, because I'm kind of excited to see what other classes come into this game and see what they bring to the table. I'm hoping there's going to be a lot more. I believe there's going to be 8 or something, or 11. I don't know. I could be totally wrong on these numbers. But there's going to be more classes, nevertheless, and there's going to be more that come with the DLC when the game's fully out. It's pretty cool because you get to kind of build and stack your stats based off these weapons. So you start off with your class. You're in level 1. You kill things, anything and everything you can that will give you levels. You just have to find a grace, and you'll level up. Once you level up, you'll be able to go around after killing certain things or certain areas or clearing certain areas. You'll be able to, like, it will give you a boss reward and a drop, and it'll give you 1 of 3 options that you're able to select that will have a weapon. Now, usually, say you're a mage, you generally want to pick up the staves, but sometimes you'll find something like a sword or something that may have a passive that gives you like extra magic damage, and you might want to pick that up. But confirm with your allies, or sometimes picking up a weapon for your allies and dropping it to them can be handy, as they could use something, and maybe they got junk for them, but it's good for you, and you got junk for you, and it's good for them, and you guys can swap. So it really works out and is nice. So there's different options and different co-op play. This is going to be a lot harder to play if you're playing with randoms. I don't know if there's going to be voice. Probably not going to be comms in this. It's unlikely. But do the best as what you can with what teammates you're working with. Who knows? Hopefully, if you have 2 friends that you can get, this game will probably be a much better experience overall, if I'm being honest. Furthermore, my experiences with the Guardian, I was relatively new, but I had no idea what I was doing when I was going in, and it became a hot mess. After 2 tries, I decided to swap to Recluse and be a mage and start trying it out. At first, I had no idea what my skill did because it didn't let you read your skills in the thing, or it does, and I didn't figure it out because it was kind of you're on a rush, you're on a time limit when you get into the match. So read as much information as you can to figure out what you're doing before you go in, or just be like me and be a hot mess for the first couple rounds until you figure it out. I'm confused. My Recluse series and runs started off horrendously. I didn't know how to use the skill. It turns out you can grab mana from that little circle thing that pops up and it gives you mana back. So if you don't have that little circle thing that pops up or you're out of options, there may be something that I'm not aware of at this moment in time, but you might be out of luck at that moment in time as you're not going to be able to grab mana. So be careful of that. Also, one other thing I do want to make note of is if you're finding and searching around the menus trying to figure out what to do or how to swap items, be very careful because if you hit square, it will drop items, and you can drop all of your items as a mage, which will leave you with nothing to fight with, which can leave you with the inability to actually play the game, which really sucks. I did this and I was like, I don't know what to do. After that hot mess, I finally got my footing and started to really adapt. And honestly, my best run without my friends was with this one random, and we had a DC, and it was just the 2 of us, and we actually had a really good solid going. We ended up dying. It was sad, or we had a network error. I don't know, one of the two. There's one round where I was actually giga stocked, and then ran into a network error, and then there was another one where I just had my partner in time, and it was just the 2 of us. I don't think we were going to make it very far, but we did our best, and it was all we could do. After the first network test that I decided to try out, I later played on the very last one with my friends, and it provided a lot more organized gameplay, and I had one friend who had been sweating it out every single play test, and he knew more so what he was doing, so we were able to get some more loot and kind of play off of each other and give each other better items. This led to us getting to the boss. Once I got into the boss ring, this was a little bit of a hot mess. I had my one friend who never even played really Elden Ring that much, and my other friend who has like 1,000 hours in Elden Ring. So it was, and I was kind of the in-between guy. I'm sitting at like 100 hours, probably like 150 maybe in Elden Ring with the DLC, and so I'm the in-between guy. So like I know my way around, but I still struggle here and there. I ended up being the last one alive, and it was a little bit difficult. You can bring up, and I forgot to mention this, you can pick up your allies by hitting them. As a mage, it's kind of tricky to do. You do have to lock onto them, but you got to pick what you're locking onto, and then you got to cast a spell, and then, oh Lord Jesus, is it struggling. Anyways, I found this boss to be very entertaining, very fun to fight. I'm so excited to see what other bosses come, which ones will be unique to this game, and which ones will be previous ones that I just never knew about. Like the Centipede Demon. Turns out he was actually from an older game. I really like him. I think centipedes are cool in games, not IRL, and they can be very fascinating with this little fire breath, and you can detach his arm that actually starts crawling after you and can be kind of spooky as well. So this game was very fun. I'm very excited to play it. I've already pre-ordered it, and it's going to come with a bunch of goodies. So I'm excited to do an unboxing with that, figure out what else this Elden Ring Nightreign will bring, and excited to see more. Alright you guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, check me out. I'll be streaming all of the games that I love to play. Different games, genreing from Marvel Rivals to Elden Ring to Monster Hunter. We're kind of dabbling and exploring in different anime games as well. So check me out on Twitch, link is down below if y'all enjoyed this video. And I will check you guys out later. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm your boy Romanpuss, and I'm going to be taking off. Yeah, hurley! Peace, beautiful people.